Bonjour, salut, hello, good morning, good day, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time of day it is that you're joining us. Thank you. When we left off, Despero had an encounter with the Threadmaster, a mouse who rolled up a spool of thread in the middle of all of the mouse community and tied a bit of thread around Despero's neck. He told Despero to be brave. Let's see what happens next. This is chapter 12, and it is titled Adieu. The sound of the drum changed again. The final top disappeared, and it became nothing but boom, 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 boom. Lester used only his tail, bringing it down with great force and seriousness upon the drum. The threadmaster retreated. The room full of mice fell silent, expectant, and waiting. And as Despero stood before them with the red thread around his neck and the 14 members of the Mouse Council perched on the bricks above him, two burly mice came forward. Black pieces of cloth covered their heads. There were slits for their eyes. "We," said the bigger of the two mice, "will escort you to the dungeon." "Despero!" Antoinette called out. "Oh, my Despero!" Despero looked out into the crowd of mice and saw his mother. She was easy to spot. In honor of her youngest mouse being sent to the dungeon, she had put on a tremendous amount of makeup. Each of the hooded mice put a paw on Despero's shoulder. "It's time," said the first one on the left. Antoinette pushed her way through the crowd. "He is my son," she said. "I want to have a last word with my son." Despero looked at his mother. He concentrated on standing before her without trembling. He concentrated on not being such a disappointment. "Please," said Antoinette, "what will happen to him? What will happen to my baby?" "Ma'am," said the first hood. His voice was deep and slow. "You don't want to know." "I want to know, I want to know. He is my child, the child of my heart, the last of my babies." The hooded mice said nothing. "Tell me," said Antoinette. "The rats," said the first. "The rats," said the second. "Oh, yes, yes, the rats. What of them?" "The rats will eat him," said the second hood. "Oh," said Antoinette, "mon Dieu." At the thought of being eaten by rats, Despero forgot about being brave. He forgot about not being a disappointment. He felt himself heading into another faint. But his mother, who had an excellent sense of dramatic timing, beat him to it. She executed a beautiful, flawless swoon, landing right at Despero's feet. "Now you've done it," said the first hood. "It doesn't matter," said the second. "Step over her. We have a job to do. Nobody's mother is going to stop us. To the dungeon." "To the dungeon," repeated the first hood, but his voice, so deep and certain a moment ago, now shook a tiny bit. He put a paw on Despero and tugged him forward, and the two hoods and Despero stepped over Antoinette. The crowd parted. The mice began again to chant. "To the dungeon! To the dungeon! To the dungeon!" The drum beat continued. Boom, boom, boom! Boom, boom, boom! And Despero was led away. At the last moment, Antoinette came out of her faint and shouted one word to her child. That word, reader, was adieu. Do you know what the definition of adieu is? Don't bother with your dictionary. I'll tell you. Adieu is a French word for farewell. Farewell is not the word that you would like to hear from your mother as you're being led to the dungeon by two oversized mice in black hoods. Words that you would like to hear are, "Oh, take me instead," or "I will go to the dungeon in my son's place." There's a great deal of comfort in those words. But, reader, there is no comfort in the word farewell, even if you say it in French. Farewell is a word that in any language is full of sorrow. It is a word that promises absolutely nothing. I wonder what's going to happen next. We'll find out next time.